Hi everyone, today's Roblox Studio tutorial is on timers. Don't worry if you haven't scripted before, everything's reasonably simple and we'll look at how to do it all. Let's get started. So first we're going to do a part, and then it's really easy to change the part scripts to work with the GUI script. So let's add a part, make sure it's anchored. Clicking the plus in Explorer, and a window will pop up which doesn't show on my recording software, but it'll be a search bar and you just search for surface and then add a surface GUI. Then you can add a text label, and let's change the size to 1010 and the background transparency 1, and I'd like the font to be Rodoka 1. You can do this however you'd like. I'm going to scale the text, change it to 0 seconds. I'm going to change the color to green, so 02550, and I like to add a UV stroke, so I'll click the plus, search stroke, and add that in, and that'll add an outline. I'll leave it as black because it's a darker black than the background. And now we can start scripting. So click the plus on the text label and add a script. Make sure it's a script and not a local script. I'm going to move that. First thing I'm going to do is define our variables. Local timer equals script dot parent. Local part equals timer dot parent dot parent. And local time now equals 0 to start, and local max time equals, and I'm just going to say 5 for now, but you can change this value whenever you use the script. And then we want to see if the time has been started yet, so we don't interrupt it in the middle, so let's put local started equals false as default. And just to make sure, going to say timer.text equals time now, so it's definitely going to start at 0. And to add seconds on the end, we're going to do something called concatenation, which we just do with 2 dots, then in quotation marks whatever text you want, so I'm going to put space seconds. And now we can start our function, which is like a book of instructions. So I'm going to write function start timing gets hit, press enter, and hit is telling us what has touched the part, because we don't want to start the timer if what touched the part wasn't a character, like it was another part. So let's test if a character touched us by asking if hit dot parent find first child brackets quotation marks humanoid equals equals, we use 2 equal signs if it's comparing, nil spelled NIL, and hit parent dot parent, so that's just one more parent than this, colon find first child brackets quotation marks humanoid, and then again we're going to say equals equals nil. So we've tested here, there's definitely no humanoid, so it can't be a character. Just press enter and it'll automatically add your then and your end. And inside we just have to write return, and that'll cancel the function before it gets any further. We also want to cancel the function if it's already started, so let's say if started equals equals true, then return. Now we can start timing, and to start timing let's add some reset settings. So if we've done a timer before, we don't want it to start at 5, we want it to start 0 again, so let's say time now is 0, timer.text equals time now dot dot quotation marks seconds. Put a space there so it looks nice. And I want timer dot text color 3 equal text equal color 3 dot from RGB, and I want it to be green, so I'll put 0255 0. I'm also going to be changing the part, so I'm going to change it back to the original, so I'll put part dot brick color equals brick color dot new brackets quotation marks, and my default is really black. And I'll set started equals true, and we can begin our loop, so I'll put while brackets time now less than max time, going to wait brackets 1, so I'll leave it 1 second, time now plus equals 1. I'm going to change the timer text, but we don't want to just put seconds, because if it's at 1 then 1 second doesn't make grammatical sense. So we're going to ask if time now equals 2 equal signs of comparison, remember, 1. Press enter, it will automatically do the then for you. I'm going to say timer.text equals time now dot quotation marks space second. Then outside that, I'm going to add else timer.text equals time now dot space seconds. We can do some fun things like change the text color if it's halfway through. So I'm going to put if time now is more than, and in brackets I'll put max time /2, it's more than halfway. Now press enter. Then I'll change the text color, so put timer.text color 3 equals color 3 dot from RGB, and I want to be red, so I'll put 25500 like that. And another thing we can do is see if it's at the end, so I'll put if time now equals and max time, then wait 1 second, and then we can put part.brickcolor equals brickcolor.new brackets quotation marks, and I'll put really red. And I'll also change the text, so I'll say timer.text equals, and I'm going to put the end. After that end, so just before the last end, we're going to write wait 1 second, then started equals false, so we can start the timer again. Then we need to activate the function, because otherwise how is this function going to start? So we're going to put part.touched connect brackets start timing. So when we touch the part, it's going to ask this function to start, and it will automatically send over information on what was touched, and we've called it hit here. And that's uppercase there. Okay, everything should work. Let's test this out, and then we can look at the decreasing function. We'll only have to change a few things. We can make the GUIs, and that'll be even easier to change. We only have to change a couple words. Okay, let's see if it works. And let's sure it resets. And it does. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So I'm going to press Ctrl and D on my keyboard to duplicate. Then let's look inside the script. And possibly you can guess some of the things we're going to change. So I'm going to copy and paste time now after max time, because I'm going to set time now equal to max time. So we're going to start 5, countdown. Let's see what else we need to change. Here, time now 0 needs to be time now is max time. And we need to change this to time now is greater than 0. And we want plus equal 1 to be minus equal 1, so remove the second every time. And here we want it to be if time now is less than max time divided by 2. And we want this n to be when time now equals 0. And that should be everything, so let's test it out. Okay, it's the one on the right. And does it reset? Okay, let's do the GUIs now. So you can design the GUIs however you'd like, but I will show you how to do one particular design. So let's go into Start a GUI and press a plus. Screen GUI. Then I'm going to add, actually something to remember to do is make sure Ignore GUI Inset is on, otherwise it'll move the parts down. And we can add a frame with anchor point 1 1, position 0.950, 0.250, and a size 0.20, 0.20, and I want the colour to be 75, 200, 255. I'm then going to add a UV corner, and I'll leave it as the default, so it just adds a nice little curve around the edge. And then Ctrl+D to duplicate the frame. I'm going to drag it over, so now there's a frame inside the frame. And I want the anchor point of this one to be 0.5, 0.5. The position to be 0.50, 0.50. And the size would be 0.90, 0.90. And I want the colour to be a bit darker, so I'll put 40, 100, and 255. I'm going to add text label, so I want the anchor point and the position just to be the default zeros, but I want the size to be 0.5010, and background transparency to 1. And then I'm going to text scale should be true. Okay, and don't worry about how this looks because we're going to change the text to an emoji. So let's just Ctrl+D to duplicate. And then this one, I want to move over by about half, so I'm going to say position 0.5. And this one, we do care about what it looks like. So I'm just going to change the text color to green, so 0.2550. I want the font to be Fidoka one. I'm going to add a outline, so use stroke. And I'm going to change the default text to 0 seconds. And here I'm going to add an emoji that I just copy off a website. I'll put the link in the description for that. And it's going to be a video stopwatch emoji. Now let's add the start button, so go to the frame. I'm going to add a text button. And anchor that 0.5, 0.5. Position it 0.50, 1.50. And I want the size to be 10, 0.50, and the color be green, so I'll put 0.255. I'd also like a recon on this. And then I'll just change the text as I have for everything. Text scaled, and then font for Doka 1. And I'm not going to add a outline for this, it'll just be a simple button. I'll change the text to start by default. You can start scripting. So let's go to this text label here, and we're going to add a local script. And we can copy over the part from that has the script that we want. I'm going to do both of them, so I'll just start with this one and then show the other one. I'm going to press Ctrl A on my keyboard to select everything, Ctrl C to copy, then Ctrl V to paste. And there are some things that we need to change, but there isn't actually much. Go in here, I'm going to move this last dot parent and change it to colon, wait for child, quotation marks, text, button. And make sure that's the button, not the label that you click there. Then down here, we don't use touched and buttons, we use mouse button 1 click, so I'm going to put mouse button 1 click. Then we don't use hit, so I'll get rid of hit there, and I'll get rid of hit there. Get rid of any mention of brick color, so there, I'm going to reset, and there where we change it. That should work. So to summarize, we changed where part is, change touch to mouse button 1 click, we get rid of any hit and any brick color, and we make sure we're using a local script and not a script. So we can do the same with the other one and change this to a GUI as well. I'll copy the script from the other one, paste it into our second screen GUI. You can use whichever scripts you want from the tutorial based on which ones you need for the game. And let's remember, change this to X button, this to mouse button 1 click. Remove hit, and remove brick color. Okay, and everything should work now, so let's test it out. Okay, so all your timers should be working now. If you have any problems, questions, anything, you can leave a comment on this video, or if you don't have a YouTube account, you can comment on the Roblox group, which will be linked in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.